Welcome back to an episode of Ghouls Garage, guys. So today in this episode of Ghouls Garage, I'm going to show you how to clean your pistons for your engine. There's a couple tools you're going to need. You need a screwdriver, a piston ring tool, some gloves, piece of sandpaper, 320, 400, something not super coarse, a wire wheel and a drill, and a parts washer. So first thing I'm going to do is put on my gloves. I've done 2 pistons already. I'll show you those real quick. And I'll show you what to do to make them look like that. So here's one piston. As you can see, it's nice and clean. We're going to try to make these pistons look like this. Put this back. Note, when you take apart your engine, take pictures. And this Chrysler has indents, or whatever you want to call them, and those point towards the front of the engine. So just know how your pistons go, and you don't want to put your number 1 piston in your number 5 cylinder. Preferably don't do that. So this is what these pistons look like starting out for this Chrysler. Nice and corroded and grimy. I'll do a worse one for y'all. So you take your piston, lay it down in front of you. First thing you want to do is take off these rings. These piston rings right here. There's one up top, one right here, and then there's 2 rings here, and then this middle ring. So what you want to do is you want to take your ring tool, and you see where it ends, right there. You want to put that in between there and squeeze out. You gotta do this on this bench. So you can start to pull it out one side. Normally you might be able to grab it and it comes up. That's not the case with this Chrysler. So after it comes up a little bit, I just start to push this out, just like that. There's one ring out. I made a pile over here for rings over there, rings right here for the different rings. Same thing with this one. Ring tool. Take it, put it in between there. That one didn't work. Take it. No, that even came out without having to pry it out. Probably how they're gonna come out. They're probably gonna come out easy. Just this one's not. Now you're down to these last 3 right here. There's an outside one, a middle one, and then another outside one. So these are kind of hard to do it to take them out, but it ends right here on this piston. What you want to do is take your screwdriver, just try to pry it up a little bit. I don't think your tool will fit on there. Mine won't. And you can see there's one. Just get the rest of the way out of there. You're not going to reuse these. Most likely you're not going to want to use these. Probably want to get new ones from your auto store or online. See, so that top one's out now. Now I've got the bottom one. Do the same thing. Push up. This one came down. It doesn't matter if you put it down or not. Just like that. Now this one's automatically going to start coming off because there's nothing holding it in. And that one just comes off just like that. Throw it in your pile. Now you're down to just a bare piston. No rings. What you want to do is you want to come to the back. Most likely your bearings are still inside your rod here. Connecting rod, hold on. It's falling over. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you put the cap on the exact same way you took it off. So I'm going to set this piston right here like this. I'm going to unscrew this top one, this top nut up here. Might want to take a picture just in case if you mess it up. And that should come off just like that. and move it exactly where it came off. I didn't flip it, I just moved it over there. Now you can take your bottom one out, just like that. I have a baggie over here full of them so I can compare them to the new ones. Again, you're not going to want to reuse these. You're going to want to get new ones. You're building your engine, why not replace it all, right? So now same thing with this bottom one. You just push it out. Put that in your bag. Now you can take your top back on. Push it on just like this. Okay, now you're down to a bare piston. So now you can see there's no rings here anymore. Top's still corroded, and there's no bearings inside. Now what you're going to want to do is, if you have a parts tank washer, you're going to want to take it over there. So that's where I'm going to go. Okay, so now that you're at your parts washer, take your piston. Simply, there's nothing on there. Just set it in the water. Or the chemical, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take my gloves off here. And you can do them without gloves. Just this stuff burns. So I got rubber gloves here. So as you all can see, here's the piston inside the parts washer. Doesn't hurt anything to get it in there. Now I got a little tool here to help clean it off a little bit. So you can take it and just clean it. Clean the outside. Most likely your piston's gonna have a lot of grease. And this one doesn't, since it's a very low mileage engine. But just clean that top off the best you can. I'm going to show you how to clean the top off properly. This just helps get the grease off. You want to get inside there, the rings, where the rings will go. Just get it best you can clean. Clean your rod as well. You want to clean the inside of this, which just has most of your grease. Just stick it back in the chemical and use your brush and get inside there. Move that connecting rod around. Get that inside as clean as you can. Now most of the times you probably are going to reuse your pistons, but I don't recommend reusing your pistons if you're doing a higher stage kit, like a stage 2 or stage 3. You're probably going to want to get a better piston. There we go. Clean it nice. Get in here where your bearings will go. Get that nice and clean. Spin your brush in there, however you get it clean. Just like that. Take your wire brush, get that top off a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna call that good for parts wash tank cleaner. Put it back in. Let it soak. And now I have a little air hose over here, right here, and I'm just gonna blow this. Okay, so now that your piston is blown off, take a rag, just hand dry it off the best you can. Just like so, get in where that bearing would sit. Clean that up a little bit. I like to blow it off because it saves a lot of drying time. There you go, get in there. Parts wash tank stuff won't necessarily burn you right off the bat, but if you have a lot on your hands and have your hands in there for a long period of time, they're probably gonna burn. So you don't have to have gloves on, but I like to. I don't like my hands burning. But now, piston's dried off. Doesn't look much different, right? Probably would if you had a lot of grease in there like I mentioned before. But you just want to take that extra step to get all that crap out because there might be, who knows, rust, whatever. So now, take your piston. It's definitely a lot less greasy. I'll tell you that much. I take your drill over here. You want to get that front side of it. And then just go back and forth on it with the drill. Okay, so there you go. It's not perfect. You can spend more time on it if you want, whatever. It just gets it a lot cleaner. It doesn't have all that rust and dirt that was sitting on it before. So now what you want to do is you want to take that wire wheel and go right here. Get that all cleaned. Okay, so there you go. Now that outer edge is cleaned where the rings will go inside. Try to get those as clean as you can as well. There's the front again. Now you can take that wire wheel and go across right here. Okay, you can also get this too. This one's not dirty at all. As you can see, looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner, a lot shinier. Both there and there. So I'm going to call this good for this piston. You can probably spend more time on this, whatever. Doesn't really matter. No one's going to see it. It's going to be under your head. So I'm going to call this done. Again, take pictures of your engine the way it came. Way you took your stuff apart. It's going to help you so much. With this Chrysler 440, these indents here, they point towards the front of the engine. You don't want to put it this way. I don't know what exactly will happen. I just know you're not supposed to put it that way. So now, take it over here to my pile of pistons. Make sure that thing's up front, however your engine came apart. Just set it back there, back in the box, whatever. So I got some more pistons to do. I might do a time lapse of them and catch back up with you guys when they're all cleaned. I guess I got caught up in talking, but piston, you can consider it done. What I would like to do is I like to take a piece of sandpaper, 320, 400, whatever. Nothing really coarse like a 120 or 80, anything like that. You just take it on where your piston will go up and down your cylinder wall. Just sand it down a little bit. You can also do that up here too where your rings will go in. Just this helps not make it so rough against the cylinder wall. Do the same thing with the top too. But just like I said, don't do anything too heavy to grit. Most of the time, like what I like to do is, once this piston is cleaned and I wire wheeled it, I'll take it back over to the air hose and I'll blow it back down again. Get all that dust and everything out. So, that is how you clean your piston on a Chrysler 440. It applies to many other engines. I don't know if there's different ring designs or whatever, but this is the Chrysler 440 out of a 74 Chrysler Brougham. Obviously, it's not going back in one of those. But, there you go. Nice and clean. A lot better than what it did look like before. So I'm going to do a time lapse of the rest of these and I'll talk back with you guys. Okay, welcome back. But that time lapse doesn't show how really long it took. I think the last time I was with you was maybe an hour and a half ago. So it probably takes about 2 hours to clean all your pistons, depends on their shape. But now they're back in their box, they're all clean. Show you a random one here. Nice clean. Top's still a little grimy, but that's fine, no one's gonna see it. There's how you clean your pistons. Definitely a lot of time to clean them, but definitely easier to clean them than replace all the pistons. Especially after you gotta heat them up and bang them out, you're wore out after it, so. I'm gonna call it here. All the pistons are nice and cleaned. Sides are cleaned. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse or not, but after I cleaned them all, and before I put them in the box, I laid down this towel here that I actually used to clean them all. And I took some carb cleaner, brake cleaner, whatever you get from your auto store or whatever, and sprayed on a rag and wiped the sides of the piston here, right here, and the top, and where these rings would sit on both sides. So, and I also got in here where the bearing would sit. So now the pistons are clean. So I just want to show you how to clean your pistons. So thanks for watching Ghouls Garage. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Facebook is Ghouls Garage and Ghouls Garage 409. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Ghouls Garage 409. Thanks for watching another episode of Ghouls Garage.